Welcome! In this series of tutorials, we'll look at the basics of using XebiaLabs. First, let's see how XebiaLabs connects to your infrastructure. You probably have a variety of servers, databases, and middleware to which you need to deploy applications. XebiaLabs saves these as configuration items in the infrastructure section of its data store, which is called the repository. The repository also contains your environments, like development, QA, and production, and defines the infrastructure items that belong to each one. Deployment packages are also stored in the repository. A deployment package represents a version of an application. It contains the artifacts and configuration settings that the application needs. These are called deployables. Now I'll perform the initial deployment of an application to an environment. First, I drag the package for version 1.0 of the application to the deployment workspace. Then I drag in the environment to which I want to deploy. I'm going to use an environment called intro env, which contains one application server. Now I can create a mapping that tells XebiaLabs where to deploy the artifacts and resources in my application. First, I'll bring up the plan analyzer so we can see the deployment plan being generated in real time. Then I'll map each deployable to the application server by dragging and dropping them. In a later tutorial, we'll look at how this mapping can be fully automated. You can see the plan being updated as I map items. Thanks to this feature, I don't have to write any scripts to execute the deployment. Now I can go to the plan and deploy the application. After all of the steps have completed successfully, the 1.0 version of the application is deployed to the intro env environment. XebiaLabs' release dashboard gives me an overview of which application version is running in each of my environments. I can see that 1.0 is running in the intro env environment. Now that the application is deployed, I can update it with just a few clicks. Let's upgrade it to a new version. First, I drag in the deployed application. Note that in this case, I'm using the deployed application instead of the environment. Then I drag in the version that I want to upgrade or downgrade to. The plan analyzer shows that the upgrade plan is different from the initial deployment plan that we saw earlier. That's because during an upgrade, XebiaLabs only updates the parts of the application that have changed. Now I'll go to the plan and upgrade the application. Now the release dashboard shows that version 2.0 of the application is running in the intro env environment. But what if I need to downgrade to version 1.0? XebiaLabs makes it easy. As before, I drag the deployed application to the deployment workspace, and then drag in version 1.0. The plan analyzer shows that just like when I upgraded, XebiaLabs only updates the parts of the application that are different between the two versions. I'll go to the deployment plan, execute it, and XebiaLabs redeploys version 1.0. And the release dashboard again shows that version 1.0 is deployed in the intro env environment. XebiaLabs is designed to integrate with your continuous delivery tools and processes. You can easily automate, maintain, and scale up your application delivery pipelines with plugins for tools like Maven, Jenkins, Bamboo, WebSphere, IIS, and many more. In a later tutorial, we'll look at how to integrate XebiaLabs with these tools. In the next tutorial, we'll take a closer look at setting up hosts, middleware, and other infrastructure.